The first thing that happened is he was supposed to pick up our kids, my kids, from school, and he had stopped by Walmart, and I was cooking vegetarian chili when he came in. And he said, "It's weird. I can't remember what I bought at Walmart." Then at dinner he started talking nonsense, and it started scaring the kids, and the younger one started crying. He was just talking total nonsense. Then he got where he would only say, "Yes, yes, yeah, yes." Everything else about him seemed to be just fine. In fact, he sat down and started playing guitar beautifully. So my brother came over and he talked to Bob for like 2 seconds. And he said, "Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you write something down on a piece of paper?" And Bob just wrote, "Yes, yes." And so finally we called an ambulance, and they came and got him, and he was out on the porch playing guitar, and they were like, "This guy?" I'm like, "Yeah." It seemed to him like they were asking him all these questions, and he was answering them, and then they would look at me like, "Why do they keep looking at Shawn?" Because he felt he was completely sensible. But by the time we got to the hospital, he had no idea what was going on, and he was like crying and really confused and didn't know what was happening. And then while we were there, he had a grand mal seizure. It was really scary. Then he was unconscious for quite a while, and people started coming up to the ER to see him, and there's all this chaos. I have my cell phone, I'm trying to call his mother, I have to keep all these people updated and everything. Then all of a sudden he woke up, and I wondered if he was going to be able to talk, and the first thing he said was, "I'm so sorry, Shawn, I love you so much." After that, he was able to talk, and he was worried because he looked and saw what time it was. "Shouldn't you be in bed? How are the kids? What's going on?" And there were some weird things missing from his memory, though. He couldn't remember stuff. It's like small stuff. Like my brother came in, and he didn't remember anything about work or the press room or anything. We had to look at the possibility that it wasn't a virus when he started to have more seizure activity, and he started to hear music in his head that he couldn't get rid of. Some days he could talk, and some days he couldn't, and he had to go to work like that, you know? Some days he could understand what people are saying to him, other times he couldn't. And so then we found out it was a tumor, and then we found out after a biopsy that it was a grade 3 astrocytoma. But then when we did the tumor resection to find out, to get rid of it, to pull the tumor out, we found out it was actually grade 4 glioblastoma multiforme, which for most people means you're done, you know? That's about it, but we weren't going to do that. There's no such thing as false hope. There is such a thing as false expectation. False hope, there's no such thing. And I think the most important part of information that we got was that we had a chance. It wasn't a real good chance. It's like less than 3% of the people with that make it, even more than a few years. But the way Bob said it was, "I'm alive today." That's all anybody's got. And so every time we had to go to a scary doctor's appointment or whatever, he'd say, "Well, what do? We love, we walk on." The day after we were at the hospital for the last time, he looked at me and he was like, "Shawn, I need to go." And I said, "You need to go, like, to Jesus?" And he said, "Yeah, I need to go." But he wanted to make sure that I was okay first, you know. I think that last night we spent in the hospital was our most peaceful, because I got in the bed with him and we held each other, and he told me how beautiful I was and all this kind of stuff you like your husband to say. And he said he was going to build a house for us in heaven.